don't desire to walk when you have wings to fly. Once upon a time, there lived a generous and kind-hearted king. He was fond of birds and animals, and had a huge bird sanctuary in his kingdom. He disliked harming the animals and birds. He did not kill them even for meat. In appreciation of his generosity and kindness towards birds, the king was gifted 2 beautiful falcons by a businessman. Those 2 falcons were used to different climatic conditions. The king thanked the businessman and ordered the head bird trainer to provide all the facilities to those beautiful falcons and make them feel comfortable in their country. The head trainer took care of the birds. Gradually, the birds got adapted to the country's climate. One day, the king wanted to see the falcons fly as he had heard that one of those falcons could fly to great heights at very high speed. The bird trainer led the falcon out of the enclosure. It flew very high, very quickly, and came down to the enclosure within minutes. The king was quite surprised, and rewarded the bird trainer with a handful of gold coins. He inquired about the other falcon. The bird trainer stated with regret that the other falcon had not moved even a step from day one and had just sat on the branch. The trainer also added that he had tried everything he could but still failed to make the bird move. The king consoled him and told him that he would bring someone more experienced than him to try to train the other falcon. Soon, the king announced that he needed someone to make the falcon move and fly. Hearing this announcement, an old man reached the king's palace and assured him that he would make the bird fly like the other one. The king asked the head trainer to take the old man to the sanctuary to train the falcon. He said that he would visit them the next day to see if there was any change. The next day, the king was very surprised to see the other falcon fly like the first one to great heights in rapid speed. The king was very happy and gifted the old man a handful of gold coins. Then the king asked the old man what he had done to make the bird fly in a day. The old man simply replied, "I just cut down the branch of the tree where the falcon used to sit." Many of us are like this. We have wings to fly, we know how to fly, and where to fly. Still we sit doing nothing or doing something that makes us inferior to others. Don't sit still when you have wings to fly.
The hidden treasure. Once, there was an old man who had 4 sons. All 4 of them were very lazy. One day, the old man fell sick and was counting his last days in bed. He worried a lot about his son's future as the young men hesitated a lot to work. The sons believed that luck would favor them. The old man's health deteriorated every day and he decided to talk to his sons about their future. However, his sons did not listen to him. Finally, the old man decided to play a trick to let his sons realize the importance of work. He called all his sons and let them sit near him on his bed. He said that he had a treasure box with gold coins and expensive gems for them and wanted to share the treasure equally among the four of them. The young men were very happy and asked where his father had placed the treasure. The old man replied, I cannot exactly remember the place where I have hidden the treasure. However, the treasure box is buried in our land. I'm really not sure about the place where I have hidden the treasure box. Even though the lazy young sons were happy, they were sad that the old man had forgotten the place where the treasure was hidden. After a few days, the old man died. The sons decided to dig the land to find the treasure box. They worked very hard and dug their land. They could not find any treasure box in the land. Finally, they decided to dig a spot in their land that was a bit different from the rest of the area. The sons believed that the treasure was buried in that spot. They dug the specific spot deeply, but got nothing but water. A passerby who noticed the land and the water flowing from the spot talked to the sons about farming. Upon his advice, the four sons sowed vegetable seeds, and planted greens and flowering plants in their land. Since the land was very fertile with abundant water, within a few weeks, it became a fertile garden with nutritious vegetables and greens. The four sons sold the vegetables at a good price and earned a good amount of money. Then they realized that it was hard work that was referred to as treasure box by their father. Gradually, the four sons overcame their laziness, worked hard, earned more money and lived happily. Hard work always pays.
The Tree and the Travelers. Once, there was a huge tree with a broad trunk and innumerable branches right in the middle of a dry land. The tree gave rest and shelter to hundreds and thousands of travelers. Being located near 4 towns and many villages, the tree was an ideal meeting point for travelers. One day, 2 travelers reached the tree after a long time of walking. Their destination was one of the towns nearby. It was a hot and sunny day, and the travelers were very happy to take a rest under the tree. Exhausted, they slumped under the tree. They slept for a while, enjoying the cool shade and the soft breeze. After a while, one of the travelers got hungry. They had no food with them. The hungry traveler looked up at the tree to see if there was any fruit. Finding none, he began to curse the tree. "Oh, this is just a useless tree and it has nothing to feed us, not even a fruit or even nuts. It is of no use." The other traveler comforted him and asked him to stay cool. However, the hungry man continuing cursing the tree. The tree, which could not tolerate the cursing words of the traveler, said in a sad yet strong voice, "You can't be so ungrateful to me. Just think of your condition when you reached here in the hot and dry sun. I offered you a cool and comfortable place to rest and sleep with a soothing breeze. If I was not here, you would have died now. I saved your life from the hot sun, but you humiliate me." The traveler realized his mistake and apologized to the tree. Be grateful for your blessings.
Health is wealth. Once upon a time, there lived a generous and kind-hearted king. But the people weren't happy with their king because the king was very lazy and would not do anything other than eating and sleeping. He spent days and weeks and months in his bed either eating something or sleeping. The king became a potato couch and the people started to worry about the king. One day, the king realized that he couldn't even move his body, not even his foot. He became very fat and his enemies made fun of him, calling him Fatty King, Bulky King, etc. The king invited expert doctors from various parts of his country and offered them generous rewards to make him fit. Unfortunately, none could help the king gain his health and fitness. The king spent enormous amounts of money, but everything went in vain. One fine morning, a holy man visited the country. He heard about the ill health of the king, and informed the minister at the palace that he could easily cure the king. Hearing these promising words, the minister became very happy. He requested the king to meet the holy man to get rid of his problem. The holy man resided at a distant place. Since the king could not move his body, he asked the minister to bring the holy man to the palace, but the holy man refused. He said that the king had to go to him in order to get cured. After strenuous efforts, the king met the holy man at the latter's residence. The holy man complimented the king, saying that he was a good ruler, and said that he would soon regain his health. He asked the king to come for treatment the next day. He told the king also that the king would be treated only if he came on foot to the holy man's residence. The king was unable to walk even a few steps on the road, but aided by his followers, he reached the holy man's place. Unfortunately, the holy man was not available there, and his devotee requested the king to come and meet him the next day for treatment. This was repeated for 2 weeks, and the king never met the holy man, and never had any treatment. Gradually, the king realized that he felt a lot lighter, lost a considerable amount of weight, and felt more active than before. He realized the reason why the holy man asked him to reach his place by walking. Very soon, the king regained his health, and the people were very happy in his kingdom. Health is wealth.
The Three Cows. Once, 3 cows lived in a green and fresh pasture near a forest: a white cow, a black cow, and a reddish-brown cow. The cows were kind to each other. They used to graze in the meadow together and sleep near each other. One day, a reddish-brown lion happened to take a stroll out of the forest onto the meadow. It was hungry and looking for a prey. On catching sight of the cows, it became glad, but couldn't attack them because they were together. So, the lion sat behind a boulder and patiently waited till the cows would separate from each other. However, the cows were too clever to separate from each other. They knew that if they were together, no predator could attack them. The lion lay in ambush nearby for 2 or 3 days. But the cows continued to remain together, and wouldn't separate from each other. The lion became impatient. It thought of a plan. It went towards the cows, greeted them and said, "How are you, my friends? Are you fine? I have been busy lately, so could not come and visit you. Today I made up my mind to pay you a visit." The reddish-brown cow said, "Sir, your coming has really pleased us and brightened our pasture." Both the white and the black cows were troubled by what their friend, the reddish-brown cow, said, and were grieved at its thoughtlessness. They said to each other, "Why does the reddish-brown cow believe what the lion says? Doesn't it know that lions seek other animals only to prey on them?" As the days passed by, the reddish-brown cow became more and more attached to the lion. The black cow and the white cow advised it against a friendship with the lion, but their efforts were in vain. One day, the lion said to the reddish-brown cow, "You know that the color of our bodies is dark and that the color of the body of the white cow is light. You also know that light color is the opposite of the dark color. It will be very good if I eat the white cow, so that there will be no difference among us any longer and we will be able to live together well." The reddish-brown cow accepted the lion's argument and started talking to the black cow to keep it busy, so that the lion could eat the white cow. The white cow was left alone and was killed, while the black and the reddish-brown cows were busy in idle talk. 2 or 3 days passed since the lion devoured the white cow. It became hungry again. It called the reddish-brown cow. The cow answered, "Yes, sir." The lion said, "The color of my body and the color of your body are both reddish-brown, and black does not go with our color. It will be very good if I eat the black cow, so that in this forest we all will be of the same color." The reddish-brown cow accepted this argument and moved away from the black cow. The lion attacked and devoured the black cow soon. And as for the reddish-brown cow, it was so filled with joy that it didn't know what to do. It roamed and grazed and said to itself, "It is only me who has the color of the lion." A few days passed later, the lion was hungry again. It roared and said, "Oh, the reddish-brown cow! Where are you?" The reddish-brown cow, shaking with fear, went forward and said, "Yes, sir." The lion said, "Today it is your turn. Get yourself ready, I am going to eat you." The reddish-brown cow, with great fear and horror, said, "Why, sir, I am your friend. I did whatever you asked me to do. Still, why do you want to eat me?" The lion roared and said, "I have no friends. How is it possible that a lion makes friendship with a cow?" No matter how much the reddish-brown cow begged and entreated, the lion didn't accept its words. Finally the cow said, "Mr. Lion, please allow me to cry out 3 times before you eat me." The lion said, "Okay. Quickly, quickly." The reddish-brown cow cried out, "I was eaten the very day the white cow was eaten. I was eaten the very day the black cow was eaten. I was eaten the very day I made friends with the lion." The lion devoured the reddish-brown cow very quickly. Then it said to itself, "I have finished my job in this forest. Now I had better go to other forests. Any group without unity will easily be destroyed.